Recover. We might be going again. Bring it in. Can you grab a knee real quick? Just relax. Talk to you guys for a second. And I'll preface anything I say with, I might not have a clue what I'm talking about. That being said, I've made it a point in my life to get around the people that had success, the people that have done stuff that I want to do. And one thing, you guys get a little bit older in life, you start getting to that point where you're trying to figure out where you want to go and what you want to be and who you are and all that stuff. You're going to realize that your competitive career doesn't play as big a role in the person you become than your training. It will never even, it's grains of sand versus mountains, guys. And I'm telling you, that is a very mature mindset to grasp at a young age. And when I say young, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you. That is very tough to grasp at a young age. And it was something I was talking to Mason's dad about last night. You guys are an instant gratification-based society, right? You want it, you got it. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter nets, smartphones, iPads, online video games. And there's nothing wrong with that, guys. There really isn't. But what you have to do is understand the process of why you're doing what you're doing, and it's not going to happen overnight. And you guys have heard this speech a million times, all right? But I'm going to paint it to you like this. I read this proverb about 6 months ago, and I was talking to our guys at practice about it. And it's basically this old man, and he's talking to this young kid. And he said, son, I believe that there's two wolves inside of us. There's this evil wolf, and he's filled with greed and hate and anger and jealousy and all these bad things. And there's the good wolf that's filled with content and passion and humanity and faith. And the kid looks at the old man and he said, which wolf wins? And he looks at him and he says, the one you feed. The one you feed. So if you feed your wolf that is scared, that's worried about winning, that's jealous, that's mad that they can't work as hard as some other guys, that's pissed off that they weren't born as with much talent as the guy that beat them that weekend, that's the wolf you're going to become. And if you feed that other one, I promise you guys, you won't regret the way you turn out. Wrestling accomplishments or none, you won't regret it. You guys have heard my story, a lot of you guys. 5th and George is the best I ever finished. 5th in a crappy wrestling state. It's getting better, but it was terrible when I wrestled in high school. I wasn't a good wrestler. But my work ethic was better than everybody else. It just didn't pan out for me. I was a mental midget. But I still showed up and worked every day. I outworked everybody every day. And I get to wake up and do wrestling every day. That's a byproduct of what happened. So me not being an NCAA champ didn't limit me to be able to coach wrestling, right? And it still doesn't limit me to try to wake up and be the best wrestling coach every day. So, and I'm not saying don't compete. I'm not saying don't write your goals down and go after them. But what I'm telling you guys is that if you want to be if you want to be a lawyer, or if you want to be a hotel owner, or you want to be a heart surgeon, then that's what you've got to work for when you're in here. You're not working for a state title. If you're drilling every day to be a lawyer, winning an Ohio State wrestling title isn't that big of a deal, right? Think about how much you have to put in to be a good lawyer. You understand what I'm saying? Your goals can be checked off along the way. Your purpose to get to that, the end of that journey, we talk about the journey through wrestling. Guys, don't limit yourself. Okay, those are just bullet points along the way. All right. Then I'm training to be a brain surgeon. Then coming in a wrestling practice is nothing. Going to a wrestling tournament is nothing. Taking a loss to a guy I should have beat is nothing. The sun comes up. And that substance that you start putting in your life, that you're feeding that wolf, guys, I'm telling you, when you're my age, you want to call your 13-year-old self and say, you know what, buddy? Whew, I appreciate it. I appreciate you setting that standard on September 14th, 2014 and keeping it. Because I'm 36 years old now and you kept that standard for the last 26 years. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And that's the way you guys got to look at it. You got to start doing stuff now that your future self is going to want to travel back in time and say, hey, what, Victor, I appreciate it, dude. You set a standard that's put me in the best place I could possibly be at my age. And that's what I was talking to you guys about earlier. And it's not every day. It's tough, guys. I get it. I'm not sitting up here trying to tell you I'm perfect. But I just set a standard. Nobody will ever have more passion than me in what I'm doing. Nobody. Will there be times? Yeah. But my mindset, I don't. Nobody was more fired up. That's my mindset coming in here today. Nobody's more fired up about today than me. And it's going to stay that way. And tomorrow it'll be the same way, and I'll come in just as fired up, probably even more fired up. And like I said, two guys will understand what I'm saying and take it to heart and make a change, and the rest of you might not. Does that mean you're bad? Does that mean you're wrong? No. But then you start seeing who's the top 2% of society. Top 2% of society, top 3% of society. We're not talking about wrestling, guys. We're talking about lives. Does that make sense to everybody? So think about it. Think about it the next time you're in the room and you're tired and there's 2 hours left. What's your mindset? Is it this? Or is it reflecting back on what you want to do 30 years from now? And get back on that path. Just change lanes, get back on that path, you're fine. But you got to start setting those standards now. You got to start setting those standards now, right? You got to start setting them now. They might be just go to bed when my dad asked me to and not argue. That's your standard. So what? That's a good standard, right? It doesn't have to be something major. It's different for everybody. But I promise you, if you can wrap your head around doing it now, you will put yourself in a category in society that very few people are willing to do. You want to be thanking yourself for a lifestyle. You want to be thanking your 12-year-old, 13-year-old, 16-year-old self. You can do it. You can do it. All right? I'm willing to live a couple years of my life like nobody's willing to, so I can live the rest of my life like nobody can. And you got to start taking that approach. I'm willing to do it for 3-4 years. I don't care. I'm willing to be broke and live in an apartment or in a shed or something like that to start a company. And then when it's making millions of dollars, then I'll go build a house and live happy. Right? And it doesn't have to be about money. It doesn't have to be about any material things. But it's got to be your success. You define what your success is. Your success might be different than yours, right? You might want to be Olympic champ. You just might want to start. And I'm not saying that that's your goal. But success is defined in different ways. It's not a gold medal for everybody. And that's why I don't worry about you guys. That's why I tell you guys not to worry about winning. Yeah, it's great, but I'm telling you, the sun will come up. You got to buy into the process and the journey, and just let wrestling influence you. Let wrestling be a part of your life. We fight wrestling way too much. We fight it so much. Just let wrestling get inside of you, man. Let wrestling get in your bones and just get in your blood. Because you guys are a rare breed of people that can't do it. It's not that they don't want to, they can't. They can't put in the effort you guys put in. A lot of people would want to, they can't. They can't. You're already in an elite class. Don't stop there. Don't stop there. Set new standards. Set another standard. Set another standard. And just let it take a hold of you. Let it start being a part of who you are. And then you wake up a different person one day and you realized all that stuff you had behind you, you don't even realize how far it got behind you. The bad friends, the eating wrong, the skipping practice, all that stuff, whatever it was that you did, it's behind you. You're not even that person anymore. But you did it little bitty tiny pieces at a time, little standards. Did we got it? I didn't mean to get, I didn't mean to get long-winded. I get fired up, man. Like I said, I don't care if you guys leave here and really don't learn a lot of wrestling. If I can change the way you view things and end up getting to live your dreams one day, man, that's all I care about. It really is. I'm literally living my dream every single day. Am I rich? No. But my definition of success isn't being rich. My definition of success is to wake up and be able to coach kids every day. All right? Be on the mat every day. All right? So you've got to figure out what that is for you. Some of you guys might not have figured out, that's fine. Set those little standards, wake up, execute. 9 o'clock tomorrow, come in here with your heads right. You got it? Make sure you thank your practice partner. Secondly, you guys didn't drive yourselves here. You guys didn't pay for this camp. You make sure you thank the people that made you be able to be at this camp today. Know that you're gracious for what they've given you. And I'll tell you, don't ever walk in this place and not be thankful you're here. Never. You guys have an unbelievable thing that a lot of kids would kill for. All right? So don't ever take advantage of it. All right? 9 a.m. Get out of here.